Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Wednesday, October 12th, 2016. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, where we bring you today's top stories translated into English every weeknight. After the PMECA mission report, which criticized the prosecution for its investigation against the Director General of the State Police, was made public a few days ago, Tirana's PMECA mission representatives were summoned to a meeting at the prosecution of serious crimes. It is learned that the head of the prosecution of serious crimes told PMECA, or Police Assistance Mission of the European Community in Albania, that the report contributed to the destruction of concrete issues which are still under investigation. He further stated that the report damaged the institution's image in the eyes of the public and that the report is outside the scope of the PMECA project. Meanwhile, representatives of the PMECA mission are learned to have expressed that the report has referred to media reports for specific issues. The report also criticized the work of the prosecution in connection with the investigation of Emiliano Shulazi, in which they state the investigation was not in-depth enough. Also in the investigation of Kavaya's mayor, Elvis Roshi, and Arben Froku, brother of MP Mark Froku, noting that the prosecution's investigation of the head of the state of police and two other officers was based on mere suspicion and mistrust. If the International Monetary Fund gives its consent, state police officers will have a 17% salary increase starting January 1st. In an activity held for the state police, the Minister of Interior declared that the state police will not feel unappreciated as they did during the previous government. State police officers were betrayed by the former government. Police officers were paid less than an employee of public administration. State police officers had the lowest salary in the region, not to mention in EU countries. In 2014, the police officer's salary was increased by 25%, which was an important step towards better financial treatment. We repaid old obligations to the state police. Now, overtime and reward payments are given on time. The salaries of over 11,000 police officers will increase by 17% starting from January 1st, 2017. Today, state police officers are not abandoned, but on the contrary, they are appreciated. This is the second salary increase to show our support to the police. We have invested in new police vehicles, in infrastructure, and in technology, declared the Minister of Interior. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Rama said that increasing salaries and pensions is a moral obligation. He spoke of the opposition's constant accusations against the state police, which he says affects the state police officers' morale. The opposition has frequently accused the Minister of Interior and Prime Minister of being connected to drug gangs and that some police directors participate in cannabis trafficking. The Democratic Party parliamentary group will discuss drug cultivation in Albania in tomorrow's plenary session. The decision was made in today's closed meeting of the Democratic parliamentary group. After the meeting, the Democratic Party chairman, Lulzum Basha, declared that the Prime Minister is deep into crime and corruption and that he wants to control the media that is publicizing the problems. According to the DP chairman, high-ranking officials are connected with crime and making headlines in all the world's medias. The Democratic Party chairman said that the government's connections to crime are the reason why the Prime Minister has not implemented the decriminalization law. We should stop the big evil. We should stop bringing the drug regime to an end. The alliance of crime and drugs will destroy the upcoming elections. We should create a large coalition of values. We will not stop until the decriminalization is implemented. We should be united before evil destroys Albania. Our battle starts tomorrow in Parliament. We will communicate with all international factors. We will also have the international support, that said the Democratic Party chairman. He added that drugs are making the country miserable and that intellectuals are being treated as people without dignity. The Democratic Party will start a tour of meetings with civil society where he will discuss and present solutions to remove the drug government, as the DP chairman calls the majority. The President of the Republic, Buyar Nishani, received some representatives from the country's recycling industry today, along with members of the Association of Recyclers who presented their opinions, arguments, and position on the effects the law on integrated waste management may have on their activity and the country's economy, and stated that decreeing the law is necessary. The President's press office announced that representatives of the recyclers gave detailed information about the raw materials they use in their recycling factories and the potential impact the law on integrated waste management has. According to the recyclers, the purpose and interest of Albania's recycling industry is not just for the economic aspect, but also for protecting the environment. President Nishani stated, such sensitive and important issues should not be politicized so that they do not fail. The President assured the participants that he will treat the law in question very seriously and that he will take a stance about the law yet, as he is still consulting with experts about it. This consultative meeting with the recyclers was held after the President met with civic activists and representatives of the Alliance Against Waste Import, as well as legal and environmentalist experts. Political party funding, especially during electoral campaigns, remains an unsolved problem of major concern. The Coalition of Local Observers, in a meeting with political representatives, raised its concern that there has been no official data regarding the costs of a party's electoral campaign in the 36 years of democracy. According to the coalition, the problem was created by an unwillingness to declare finances and other legal shortcomings. The Socialist Party believes this problem can be solved by amending the law on political parties to require periodic auditing of party funding. The Socialist Party MP, Taulant Bala, spoke against the Democratic Party's proposal to exclude private funding for political parties and was in favor of keeping the current model, which includes public and private funding for political parties, however, added that stronger monitoring would increase transparency. Opposition members were absent at the meeting, but the former president, Meidani, said that political parties are being funded with criminal monies. According to the General Secretary of the Socialist Movement for Integration, the Electoral Code has many problems which are reflected in the election standards. The SMI's General Secretary added that the OSCE is also responsible for the situation. On the last day of his official visit to Greece, the Assembly Speaker Ilir Meta held a meeting with the Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras. During the meeting, the Assembly Speaker emphasized that past conflicts should not dominate the relationship between the two countries and that a new vigor will be given to the Albania-Greece relationship, which can be achieved with good political will. Just like all neighbors, we have some issues in the history of our relations, but these issues do not dominate our relationship. I believe that with wisdom and a positive will, we will not only give a new vitality to Albania-Greece relationship, which is a request of our people, but we will also treat past inherited issues in a constructive manner and according to the European affiliation, declared the Assembly Speaker. Meanwhile, the Greek Prime Minister focused on Albanian immigrant issues. This meeting is being held at a very important moment in the relationship between our two countries, relations which have had their tensions during its historic path, but they have also had their good times. We should solve our problems and protect the perspective of good neighboring and defend it from extremist and nationalist voices, said the Prime Minister of Greece. During his stay at Athens, the Assembly Speaker held meetings with Greek state leaders and with several associations of Albanian immigrants. That's all for our English edition this evening. Please join us again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. My name is Mari, and on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.